In a world that celebrates noise, applause, and fleeting recognition, we often overlook the quiet strength that holds our lives together. The people who stand by us without asking for anything in return. They are not the ones shouting our names from the crowd, but the ones who whisper encouragement when no one else is watching. Their love is steady, their presence unwavering, and yet, too often, they remain unseen. Before we realize it, time steals away the chance to tell them how much they mean. This is the story of why we must never take genuine love and care for granted. Because in the end, they are the only wealth that truly matters. Life has a strange way of distracting us. We chase approval from people who barely know us, while those who genuinely love us stand quietly in the background. It is ironic. The hands that catch us when we stumble are often the ones we fail to notice. We run after praise, likes and admiration, forgetting that true care does not demand recognition. It lives in silence, in sacrifice, in the small acts that rarely make headlines, but hold our world together. Imagine for a moment that you have achieved every dream: wealth, recognition, applause. But when the lights go out and the noise fades, who is left standing beside you? Not the strangers who cheered, not the crowd that clapped. It is the people who never needed a reason to stay. They are the silent treasures of our lives, yet too often we ignore them. Every relationship in life is like a seed. Some are planted shallow, sprouting quickly, but fading at the first storm. Others take root deep, nourished with care and patience, growing into strong trees that shelter us for years. The people who truly care about us are like those deep-rooted trees. They do not sway with convenience. They do not leave when life grows hard. They do not love us for what we give them, but for who we are when the world isn't watching. And yet, how often do we forget to water these trees? We forget to say thank you, to show up, to give back the way they gave to us. A tree, no matter how strong, cannot survive forever without nourishment. In the same way, love left unacknowledged eventually withers. The tragedy of life is not only that it ends, but that it moves too quickly for us to realize what truly matters. One day, we look up from our business and find that the people who once called without reason no longer call. The friend who always checked on us is silent. The parent who once waited for our visits is gone. Sometimes they walk away tired of being ignored. Sometimes life itself takes them away forever. In both cases, regret hits hard, words left unsaid, gratitude unspoken, love unexpressed. These become heavy burdens. Time does not pause for us to wake up. It keeps moving, and if we are not careful, we find ourselves too late at the doorstep of absence, wishing we had valued presence. Storms come to every life. Difficulties, losses, heartbreaks, they arrive without warning. And when they do, the world outside does not care. Your achievements will not comfort you. Your possessions will not hold you. Your followers will not lift you. Only the ones who truly love you will shelter you in the rain. They are the ones who will hold the umbrella above your head, even while they are soaking wet themselves. They will lend you their strength when you are collapsing, their shoulder when you cannot stand, their patience when you have none left. If you have ignored them, you risk facing the storm alone. And nothing is lonelier than realizing, in your darkest hour, that the people who mattered most are no longer there. Love is not always loud. Care does not always come with dramatic displays. Sometimes it is as simple as someone remembering how you like your coffee. Someone listening to the same story for the 100th time because it matters to you. Someone noticing when you are quiet and asking if you are okay. These gestures may seem small, but they are priceless. The true measure of wealth is not found in what sits in your account, but in the number of people who would sit beside your hospital bed without being asked. Too often, we believe the lie that those who love us will always be there, no matter how little we give back. But love, even the purest kind, needs acknowledgement. It needs to be seen, felt, and cherished. Otherwise, it begins to fade quietly, like a flower left unwatered. The saddest truth about life is that many people only realize the value of love in its absence. Funerals are filled not only with tears of grief, but also with tears of regret, regret for words never spoken, regret for gratitude never expressed, regret for the countless times we assumed there would be another tomorrow. Why do we wait until it is too late to say, I appreciate you, I love you, you matter to me? Pride, distraction, and busyness blind us from what is essential. But when the chance is gone, no amount of success, money, or applause can replace it. Regret is a heavy burden, heavier than failure, heavier than loss itself. And almost always, it is tied not to things we failed to achieve, but to relationships we neglected and hearts we took for granted. Acknowledging those who care does not require wealth or grandeur. It does not demand extraordinary effort. Sometimes all it takes is presence. Putting down the phone and giving someone your full attention, asking about their day, and truly listening to the answer. Remembering the little details that show you care. These small acts carry tremendous weight. They tell the people who stand by you, I see you, I value you. You are not invisible. Relationships thrive not on perfection, but on presence. Time is the most valuable gift we can offer, and unlike money, it cannot be earned back once it is gone. Choosing to be present with those who love you is one of the wisest investments you can ever make. We live in an age where distraction is everywhere. Phones buzz with notifications. Careers demand more hours. Social media drowns us with validation from strangers who do not even know our real selves. In this endless noise, we lose sight of what is real. The world convinces us that applause equals love, that attention equals care, that likes equal value. But deep down, we know the truth. Applause fades. Attention shifts. Validation is temporary. Only genuine love stands firm, quiet but unwavering. The challenge of our time is not achieving more, but remembering what matters most amid the noise. To silence the world long enough to notice the steady hands that hold us together. That is where true fulfillment begins. To understand love fully, we must also understand loss. They are inseparably connected. The depth of our grief reveals the depth of our love. When we lose someone who mattered deeply, the ache in our hearts is proof that we were blessed to have loved at all. At first, loss feels cruel, as if life takes from us the very thing that gave us joy. But over time, it reveals its hidden lesson. Love is sacred precisely because it is fragile. If love lasted forever without risk of loss, we would never learn to cherish it. Loss teaches us humility, gratitude, and resilience. It sharpens our awareness of what matters most. And though it breaks us, it also builds us, reminding us that to love at all is to be courageous. When we lose someone we love, the hole they leave never truly closes. But loss is not only about taking, it also gives. It gives us compassion for the pain of others. It gives us perspective about what truly matters. It makes us gentler, kinder, slower to anger, quicker to forgive. Grief, though painful, is a reminder that love once existed, and that love was real. Even when someone is gone, their love does not disappear. It transforms. It becomes memory. It becomes gratitude. It becomes a part of who we are. In this way, love outlasts loss. And though grief comes in waves, it is never a sign of weakness. It is simply the price of having loved deeply. And that is a price worth paying. Many people spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They hide behind walls, keep others at a distance, and shield themselves from vulnerability. They believe that if they never love too deeply, they will never lose too painfully. But this safety is an illusion. To numb yourself to pain is also to numb yourself to joy. You cannot close your heart to loss without also closing it to love. The truth is, to embrace love is to accept the risk of loss. But that risk is what makes love meaningful. A life without love may seem safe, but it is empty. A life with love, even with loss, is full, rich, and alive. Courage is not in avoiding pain. It is in loving fully, knowing that one day you may grieve. Loss comes in many forms. Sometimes it is the death of someone dear. Sometimes it is the fading of a friendship. Sometimes it is the shattering of a dream. Each loss cuts differently, but each leaves a scar. And scars, though painful, tell a story. They remind us that we cared enough for something or someone that its absence mattered. They are proof that we lived, that we dared, that we loved. To live without scars may sound appealing, but it would mean we never truly gave our hearts. A scarred heart may be wounded, but it is also wise. It carries the memory of love, the lessons of resilience, and the courage to open again despite the risk. What makes loss transformative is the way it strips away illusions. When we lose someone we love, suddenly the little things we once argued about seem unimportant. Superficial judgments and material possessions lose their shine. We begin to see clearly. Life is not about how much we accumulate, but how well we spend the time we are given. We begin to value laughter around the table, shared conversations, and even quiet moments with those we love. Loss teaches us that life is not measured in years, but in moments. And those moments, when cherished, become the treasures we hold long after possessions fade. Loss is not only an ending, it is also a beginning. Each time we lose, we are reshaped. We learn to carry memories differently. We learn to walk forward even when we wish to stand still. We discover new strength we didn't know we had, and sometimes we open our hearts to unexpected love again. The door that closed may never reopen, but another one waits, offering new lessons, new people, and new chapters. Grief does not erase love. It transforms it, making space for growth. Endings hurt, but they also make room for beginnings that could never have existed otherwise. In this way, loss becomes a teacher, leading us into a deeper, wiser way of living. Even when someone is gone, their love continues to echo through our lives. It lingers in the habits they taught us, in the laughter we remember, in the values we carry forward. Love is never wasted. It leaves an imprint that time cannot erase. Sometimes we find ourselves saying words they once spoke, or repeating traditions they once cherished. In those moments, we realize that love outlives people. It becomes part of who we are, woven into our identity. Though absence can hurt, it also reminds us that we were fortunate enough to have known love so deep it could not be forgotten. That is the greatest gift, love that endures beyond presence. Too often, we live as though we have unlimited tomorrows. We delay forgiveness, postpone affection, and withhold gratitude. We tell ourselves we will call later, visit later, say, I love you later. But loss teaches us a painful truth. Tomorrow is never promised. The only guarantee we have is today. That means every embrace could be the last, every conversation more meaningful than we realize. The wisest people understand this. They do not wait for perfect moments to express love. They create them. They laugh freely, forgive quickly, and cherish deeply, because they know time is short. The tragedy is not death itself, but the life we waste by waiting for someday. The gift of today is the only certainty we hold, and we must use it to love fully while we still can. Loss, though painful, connects us in a way few other experiences can. No matter where we are from or what we believe, every human being understands the sting of losing someone they love. It is a universal language, grief. In that shared vulnerability, we find unity. We realize that beneath differences in culture, status, or wealth, we are all fragile, we all love, and we all lose. And in that truth, we discover compassion. When we see another person grieving, we recognize ourselves in their pain. It makes us gentler with others, slower to judge, more willing to stand beside them. Loss may divide us from the ones we love, but it unites us with the rest of humanity in ways nothing else can. When we think of the people we love most, the fear of losing them can sometimes make us hesitant. We hold back, afraid that if we give too much, the pain of loss will crush us later. But the truth is, love does not weaken us. It strengthens us. The pain of loss is proof that what we had was real, and it is always better to have loved fully than to live untouched by love. A life without deep connections may feel safer, but it is also emptier. The courage to love, even knowing loss may come, is the bravest choice we can make. Because in the end, love does not disappear when someone leaves. It transforms, and its impact remains forever. There comes a point in life when applause fades and achievements lose their shine. In that quiet, we face a question no title, no fortune, no recognition can answer. What truly matters? The truth is simple. Real wealth is found not in possessions, but in people. Not in what we own, but in who we have. A mansion without love is emptier than a small home filled with warmth. A diamond ring has no value without the love it represents. Luxury cars, awards, and fame mean little compared to the comfort of someone holding your hand when you are weak. The richest people in life are not those with the most money, but those with love that cannot be bought, with loyalty that cannot be sold, with relationships that cannot be replaced. The tragedy of our modern world is that we confuse the price of things with their value. We admire possessions but overlook presence. We chase wealth but neglect relationships. We think success is about numbers in a bank account, likes on a screen, or titles on a door. But at the end of life, no one wishes they had earned more money or gained more followers. What they wish for is more time. Time with family, time with friends, time with those they loved. They wish they had laughed more, forgiven more, and expressed gratitude more often. The world teaches us to climb ladders, but the view from the top means nothing if we stand there alone. True success is not measured by how high we rise, but by who is still standing beside us when we do. The greatest joys in life are rarely the loudest. They are not found in applause, headlines, or achievements. They live in quiet moments. A shared meal, a heartfelt conversation, a walk with someone who matters. These moments may seem ordinary, but they hold extraordinary power. They create bonds stronger than any material possession. When we look back on our lives, it is these memories that give meaning to our journey. Not the trophies, not the bank statements, not the fleeting recognition of strangers. The joy of connection is subtle, but it endures. It reminds us that love is not measured in grand gestures, but in the simple decision to be there for one another. If relationships are our true wealth, then they deserve the same care and effort we often reserve for careers or possessions. Just as financial wealth requires saving and nurturing, emotional wealth requires presence and commitment. We cannot expect loyalty if we do not show it. We cannot expect support if we do not offer it. Deep, meaningful relationships do not happen by accident. They are built with intentional choices. Choosing kindness over convenience. Choosing presence over distraction. Choosing people over pride. Every time we invest in love and connection, we create wealth that no crisis can erase, no thief can steal, and no time can diminish. This is the only investment guaranteed to grow richer the more you give. Life has a strange paradox. When we give love, care, and time, we do not become poorer, we become richer. The more we give, the more we receive. The more we care, the more care returns to us in ways we never expected. Generosity in relationships creates abundance. A person who shares kindness will never run out of kindness to receive. A heart that gives love freely discovers that love multiplies. Unlike possessions, love grows only when it is shared. Hoarding it makes it wither, expressing it makes it flourish. Those who understand this truth live with a quiet peace that no amount of money can buy. They may not always have everything the world admires, but they always have what the soul needs. At the end of life, our legacy is not built on what we own, but on how we love. No one will remember the balance in our bank accounts or the titles on our doors. What they will remember is how we made them feel. Did we show kindness? Did we forgive? Did we make time? Did we love deeply? These are the questions that define the wealth of a life well lived. Love leaves ripples across generations. A kind word, a loyal friendship, a selfless sacrifice. These outlast lifetimes. They become stories told long after we are gone. A person who lives with love leaves behind something far greater than possessions. They leave behind meaning, connection, and a legacy of the heart. When the noise fades, when the applause dies, when possessions slip away, the only treasure that remains is love. It is found in the people who walk beside us, not for gain, but out of care. It is measured in the hearts we touched, the lives we brightened, the kindness we shared. This is the real wealth of life. It is the security of knowing we are not alone, the peace of being loved for who we are, not what we have. In the end, everything else is decoration. The true treasure has been with us all along, in the love we give and receive. If this message touched your heart, don't let it end here. Cherish the ones who care for you today. And if you found this story inspiring, please like this video and visit our channel for more uplifting content that reminds you of what truly matters.